Hey everybody, welcome to the replay of the 5-day Nourish with Protein mini challenge. We've had a lot of fun challenges in our past. We've had the 21-day Whole Food My Family challenge, the Supercharged Smoothie challenge, the Fiber challenge, and the No Fuss Nourished Boot Camp. There's a lot of fun, free education that we've thrown at you. And this little mini 5-day protein one is not going to be any different, except it's going to be micro. It's going to be lots of fun. We'll still have lots of prizes and lots of great education that will stand you in great stead. We have amazing feedback about our challenges, so I hope this one will be the same. Now, I did just go live and record all of this, but apparently the microphone wasn't working, and I know how annoying it can be to listen to the replay with tinny voice, so I'm re-recording it for you, and I'm going to try to stick to under 20 minutes. How does that sound? All right. So in 5 days, you are going to know where you stand with protein. You're going to know whether it's worth all the hype, how much you actually need for your unique stage of life and what your lifestyle's like. You're going to know whether you're enough or even maybe too much. You're going to know what does a day on a plate even look like? What are some realistic options and ways that I can actually get protein in? When do I need it most? And for those who can do with a protein boost, and that's not going to be everybody, mind you, but for those who do need a bit of a protein boost, I'm going to tell you what to look out for in a protein shake, how to spot a good one. And of course, if you've been following along in the Facebook group, you'll know that for those who do actually need it, yes, we will be releasing our much requested protein blend at the end of the 5 days. I cannot believe how many people have requested this one over quite a few years. And I say years because I've actually resisted it a lot. I really didn't want to make a protein blend because between you and I despise the protein shake industry. I just did not want to be a part of it. And so, of course, I've made the protein blend in a way that makes me feel good about the product. Of course, I'll tell you all about that later, but I've done it my own way. Now, we're going to be giving away one of these high quality protein blends every day during this 5-day protein challenge. Now, they're big ones too. They're 1.2 kilos each. And so to be in the running, all you need to do is make sure that you've registered for this mini challenge. And 2, that you're playing along at home each day by actually doing the micro tiny action associated with each video. Today's action is so small, it's going to take you about 30 seconds to do it while you're still sitting there on your phone. You're just going to type me a little comment about something that I'm going to ask you at the end, okay? More on that later. But for now, I think we should dive on in, and I'll set my timer, I reckon 15 to 20 minutes from now, let's say. All right, day 1. Are we protein obsessed beyond muscles and weight loss? Protein, you guys, I'm sure you'd know this, gets a lot of spotlight in the Western world. From shakes to powders to cookies to, bars. It really is the macronutrient rock star that steals the limelight from everyone else. And after learning that it's actually very rare for someone in our Western world to have a full-blown protein deficiency, I took on the belief that all this protein hype was largely commercial codwallop, that it was just yet another way for supplement brands to make a ton of money on selling a subpar product with full of ingredients that are damaging to our health rather than contributing to it, all selling to people who are just trying to do the best by themselves. And that's what just really gets my goat. And if you know me, then you know that. And these are some of the labels that you see. And I'll talk more about that later. But I've had some personal experience over the years that have led me to question whether the 99% of us are indeed getting enough for optimal function, not just avoiding full-blown deficiency. Now, there's a big difference between the two. So around 6 years ago, I was so tired that I just couldn't go an afternoon without a nana nap. It seems ridiculous, but I was physically incapable to keep on keeping on. And I found out later that, of course, I was in full blown burnout with adrenal fatigue and even anxiety for the first time in my life. I was pushing too hard at work while still trying to be ever present to my baby and 4 kids. And that meant that I just didn't get much sleep. And I guess I found out that I'm just not superhuman after all. Who knew? And so my friend and naturopath, Jess Donovan, she told me that I should do 3 things. I should eat more protein, I should eat more good fats, and I should get more sleep. She also prescribed me about $400 worth of supplements, which I didn't get at the time. I just started with those 3 changes. And my, oh my, those nana naps disappeared. I had sustained energy and I felt back to my usual self. And so, yes, for those who know my story, I did go on to have a second bout of burnout, which I've just recently healed from. Because as it turns out, if you don't change the cause or the source of your burnout, which is your lifestyle and stress levels, no amount of protein and no amount of healthy eating is going to fix that long term. That's a big lesson that I had to learn. So anyway, this week we're on a mission to unravel the protein mystery. So where should we start? I think day one, the best place to start is by shooting down this notion that protein is mostly needed to give us a body like Arnold. That's Arnold when he's younger. And that's Arnold when he's older with my husband, Jordan. Jordan worked in the fitness industry for quite a few years. And so, he would rub shoulders with Arnold and he was immersed in this culture of being buff and having lots of muscles. And protein was definitely a very strong message in that industry with all the expos he'd go to. That was me helping him at one of the stands. He did some wireless sports music headphone things, It's my brother's company. I'm butchering it. Anyway, really nice earbuds. And so the messages in that fitness industry are very strong. It's protein, 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 muscles, muscles, muscles. And look, before I go knocking that, of course, protein really is the rock star when it comes to building muscle. There's no doubt about it. But for those of us who aren't preoccupied with having to get this bodybuilder physique, like what about us? Do we need to be mindful of getting enough protein or maybe getting too much protein in? You betcha. And let's discover why. All right. Imagine your body is a city and protein is like the construction crew, the repair team, and the master choreographer of the entire operation. Now, if you don't get enough protein, it's like telling the construction crew to take a day off, firing the repair team, and stopping the dance rehearsals. Everything starts falling apart. So protein is not just about pumping iron at the gym. It's the backbone of your cells. Think of it as like brick and mortar that build up your cell membranes, like the city blocks that make up the city. And so when things go haywire in your body, as they will at some point, protein jumps in, fixes stuff up, and makes sure that everything's running smoothly. And it's just like having a team of superheroes on standby. That's what protein is like. Now, I'm going to shoot through the other jobs of protein pretty quickly because there's quite a few of them. And I've got some visual aids because I don't want it to just be me like blabbering on the screen, okay? So hopefully it'll help you stay engaged. So job number 2 is enzymes. Why are enzymes important? Well, let me tell you, they are the catalysts for all of the biochemical reactions that happen in your body all day, every day, and while you're sleeping. There are so many biochemical reactions happening in your body every day that we couldn't even attempt to count them all. Enzymes help that intricate dance of those molecular processes, the choreography that keeps the city alive, if you will. And so without protein, we cannot make enzymes. We absolutely need them. And so without protein, it's like telling the control center to shut down. That's how important enzymes are to our body. Protein is also an amazing transporter. It's kind of like the courier driver that drives all the nutrients and vitamins around your body and even balances out your pH levels. And while we're talking transporters, we can't forget our hormones. Our hormones are our body's messengers, like the courier driver as well. Protein helps to maintain our hormonal balance, contributing to a stable endocrine system throughout. Like, hormones are a big deal too. Protein kind of does a lot, you guys. Number 4 is energy. Did you know that protein also steps up as a source of energy when our carbs are quite low? And that makes sense for those who are, say, on a ketogenic diet, right? So they're not having many carbs, but they're having more protein than usual, and they're getting their energy from protein and good fats as well. So number 5, this is a topic that I know a lot of people are interested in: weight management and metabolism. So protein has a higher TEF, which is a thermic effect on food. It's a higher rate than fats and carbs, which basically just means that it takes more energy for your body to digest and absorb protein than it does fats or carbs. And that can lead to a slightly increased metabolism. So protein makes us feel full. It cuts out or curbs the cravings and helps with appetite control. So that would explain why when I increased my protein intake that I told you about earlier, my chocolate addiction that I'd been struggling with for many years was finally conquerable. It's amazing, right? Like, a lot of people ask me about how I conquered my chocolate craving. Protein was one of the key players. However, protein can have the opposite effect with weight gain and metabolism slowing down, but that's if you have too much protein, and we're going to get to that in days to come. So don't worry too much about that now. But if you're constantly going back to the fridge for chocolate or for anything else, or popping toast back in the toaster multiple times a day, it might be helpful to check in with yourself and ask if, maybe try some protein so that you're satiated instead of just having these highs and lows in energy. And speaking about the highs and lows, protein in meals can help slow down the release of blood sugar into the bloodstream, modulating that post-meal rise in blood glucose levels, and that contributes to better blood sugar control. And in doing that, it helps support insulin function, reducing the risk of insulin resistance and diabetes down the track. It is fabulous to slow down that release of sugar into your blood. Introducing protein and also good fats helps to do that. Now, the next one is bones. Having sufficient protein is critical for your bone health. Studies have shown that women who take collagen have lower levels of hormones that promote bone breakdown and better bone mineral density as well. And if you're starting to think now about women in peri or post menopause here, you are spot on. And we're going to talk about that later in the week. This is one that I love. We've only got, I think, 3 more after this. So we're doing pretty well for time. But guys, this is one that I've had personal experience with, like I told you about. So mood and stress response. When I was in burnout and experiencing anxiety, protein helped me. Why do you think that is? Well, number 1, neurotransmitters like GABA and serotonin have a major role in mood regulation, and they can't be made without protein. Protein is like the master builder of seemingly everything in our body, including our nerve signals. Neurotransmitters helps us feel nice and calm and capable and in control of life. But it's not just our neurotransmitters. Protein also helps us to have greater mental clarity, to feel more alert, and just positively impacts our mental well-being. And so this topic is one of my favorites because I know that mental dis-ease is prevalent in our society. So I wonder what impact protein might have in that regard. Number 9, remember how I said that protein builds basically everything in our body? Well, hair and nails, the thing that makes hair and nails strong is keratin, and keratin is made of protein. You guessed it. And when it comes to skin elasticity, connective tissues, and joint health, of course, it's collagen there. And what's collagen made of? Protein. Now, wound healing, this is the second to last one. Have you ever wondered what this voodoo magic is that enables our bodies to heal from wounds and injuries, little scratches and cuts and things, all by itself? Every time I watch, I've got one on my leg right now, I'm watching it heal itself. I just think it's phenomenal. So I've got protein to thank for that one as well. Now the last one, you guys. This is the one I fought myself so hard on. I wanted to create a dedicated video just on this because I love it so much. But lucky for you, I decided just to make it 1 minute long and tag it on to the end of this video to keep it nice and succinct. Protein is like the architect, the planner, and the executor of our body's defense strategy, the immune system. Did you know that the parts of the immune system that we know so well, like we've heard their names a lot, like antibodies, killer T cells, cytokines, and much more, they are all literally proteins. And what do? I thought you'd never ask. Antibodies identify and attach themselves to invaders, marking them for destruction. Super cool. Complement proteins help attack and destroy said invaders, promote inflammation, the good kind, not good kind, and help just clear it all out of our system. Cytokines are proteins that keep all the communication in our immune system open. It helps our body know how long to keep the immune system attacking for and helps to keep everything talking together. MHC proteins place red flags on cells for the immune system to deal with. It's incredible. They also know how to help the body identify what is the body, what is you versus what is a foreign invader. The protein helps to decide the difference between the two. And if you're thinking autoimmune conditions right now, then you're on the right track. And the last one, PRRs. My gosh, they are so smart. They actually help to identify patterns of behavior in invading pathogens so that we can outsmart it. How amazing is that? When we aren't eating enough protein, we can see this depletion in immune cells and this inability to create antibodies. And we do not want to be in a position where we can't make our own antibodies to fight off infections. Protein does this intricate dance that is so sophisticated, and in the face of so many diverse threats, it consistently helps to protect us. So, when your body's not getting sufficient protein, it's like telling the construction workers, the repair team, the choreographer to just pack up and go home. And your city, or in this case, your body, starts to crumble. Cells struggle and they don't maintain their structure. Repairs come to a screeching halt, and the intricate dance of molecular processes just becomes a chaotic mess. In simple terms, not getting enough protein is like firing your essential workers. Remember in COVID, our essential workers just kept on working. We simply can't afford for them not to be on duty. So I hope you see protein is not just about muscles and it's not just about losing weight. It's about the entire operation of your body. So next time you think protein, think of it as the superhero team that keeps your city thriving and bustling, or your body thriving and doing really well. How amazing is our body? And how wonderful that we get to choose the foods that can fuel it and help it in this myriad of ways. Now, I don't know about you, but understanding the connection between our amazing body processes and the food that we choose to feed our body actually just, it helps me. It makes me want to look after it. It makes me want to make different choices that actually help me and support me rather than hinder me. So tomorrow, you're going to get your calculator out and you're going to find out how much protein you actually need a day. And it's uniquely yours. So whatever stage of life you're up to, whatever lifestyle you're leading, we can calculate a ballpark goalpost for you with your protein needs. I am a huge believer in just being aware of that, but then kind of parking it to the side and just listening to your own body as well. Super important to listen. Your body's always trying to talk to you, but it's important to get some awareness. So tomorrow we're going to get that awareness of that number that might be right for you. And if you, I forgot this bit. Today's tiny action is to simply tell me in the comments which area of your health that we've spoken about today might need some attention. And look, if one of these areas of health that we've spoken about needs attention, we don't know at this point whether it's protein deficiency or anything that's causing that. It might be a myriad of reasons, right? But right now, all I want you to do is just gain an awareness of where your body's at, like what's actually happening. Because like I said, listening to your body is absolutely critical. Like your body has your back. It loves you. It wants to look after you. But sometimes it's yelling at us and screaming at us or just whispering at us and we're not listening. And so we're not responding. And so we kind of get our wires crossed. So today's task is simple. Just tell me which of these areas of health you think that you could benefit from focusing on or from getting an improvement in. Now, if you can't read that on the screen, I'll quickly read them for you and then say goodbye. Number 1, building or repair of muscles. Number 2, production of enzymes to allow all those beautiful biochemical reactions in your body to work. And look, some of these, like that enzyme one, they're a bit invisible, right? So sometimes we don't know if that needs attention, but just use your judgment and find one that feels good to you. Hormone balance, transporting nutrients, balancing our body's pH levels, energy, weight management and metabolism, blood sugar control, insulin function, bone health, mood, stress response, mental well-being, mental clarity, hair and nail strength, skin elasticity, wound healing, and the big one, immune health. Woo! So tell me in the comments which one speaks to you most, and you will go into the draw to win a 1.2 kilo chocolate protein blend that we are releasing at the end of the week. So I hope that you have found this insightful. I hope that you've got a newfound appreciation for the wonders that is protein. Like protein just does the most amazing things for us. And your body is incredible. And you have the power and the choice and the autonomy to thrive in your body. That is something that we have I probably shouldn't say complete control. Often we have a lot of control over what we do with our body and the things that we choose to put into our body. It blows my mind every time I learn something new about this wondrous body of ours and how intricate it is and how it all works and functions. My gosh, we are so lucky to have access to such wonderful fuels for it. Anyway, before I start monologuing about how awesome our bodies are, I'm going to bid you farewell. Please comment below to go in the draw to win your protein blend. And tomorrow we will see you back here with your calculator. It'll be a shorter little video tomorrow. We'll see you then for day 2. Bye, guys.